What's going on, mi gente? This is Profe Gayu. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about a very serious topic that I think you need to know about on the topic of moving to the Dominican Republic. Very important, so stay tuned.
I couldn't take it no more, so I left the matrix.
And my money just tripled. I had a good time and it cost me a little. So I found peace, tranquility, faith in my abilities.
I couldn't fake no more, so I left the matrix.
So look, mi gente, I know that all over YouTube, all over the internet, you all have heard from other folks going to the Dominican Republic and moving to the Dominican Republic, building a different life abroad by living in the Dominican Republic. You've heard all the stories. You've seen all the stories. You've seen all the YouTube videos. You've seen the panels. You've seen the videos. You've seen it all, right? You've seen it. But have you ever heard of folks talking about actually getting a visa to move to the Dominican Republic? Have you? Probably not, because I haven't. I really haven't. I have not heard of anyone getting a visa to move to the Dominican Republic. You want to know why? Because most folks that actually move to the Dominican Republic go there on a tourist visa. So therefore, they go there on a tourist visa, they hang out, they overstay their visa, chilling, and then when they want to leave the country, they pay the overstay fee and leave the country. But I've never heard about folks getting a visa to move to the Dominican Republic. You want to know why? A lot of folks aren't getting visas to move to the Dominican Republic. They aren't. They really aren't. This is why YouTubers are lying to you. Folks on Instagram are lying to you. TikTok, all those social platforms, they are lying to you. You cannot get a residency visa in the Dominican Republic while entering the country on a tourist visa. It's impossible. The process has to start in your home country. So in the past few videos that I've uploaded, I've had quite a few folks reach out to me concerning the topics spoken about in those videos or in videos I've uploaded months or even years ago. And one topic I want to touch on is the process of you getting your residency visa in the Dominican Republic. Now, a lot of folks, when they talk about the Dominican Republic, they don't really talk about getting a visa. They just move to the Dominican Republic, see how they like it, overstay their tourist visa. If they like it, then they start thinking about how they're going to go about getting the residency visa. But you know what? You know one thing? You cannot get your residency visa in the Dominican Republic while you are in the Dominican Republic on a tourist visa. It is impossible. The process has to start at a consulate. When you decide that you're going to move to the Dominican Republic, what you need to do is go on the consulate, your nearest consulate's website, right? My example, that was the consulate in the Dominican Embassy in DC. I looked online, I looked at what the requirements were for the different visas that were being offered. I got my documents together. Then I reached out to the consulate and asked for a checklist. They gave me a checklist for my specific visa. I got the remaining items that I needed off that checklist. I called them up and said, hey, I have everything. Can I get an appointment to turn in my documents? They gave me an appointment date for the following week. I go to the consulate for my appointment date, turn in my documents. I had to pay a few dollars to have a few documents translated. Gave them my passport. I was told that if all goes well, they'll reach out to me in a month or so. In a month and a half, I received a phone call to say, hey, your passport is ready for pickup. The next day, I went there to pick up my passport with my residency visa in the passport. After that, I had all my original documents that I turned into the consulate. I put them in a special folder, put them in my backpack, and went online, started making plans to buy my ticket to arrive to the Dominican Republic on my residency visa. And from the time that visa was issued, you have up to 120 days to enter the Dominican Republic on that residency visa. When I arrived to the Dominican Republic, I went to the main immigration office in Santo Domingo, asked for a checklist for the residency permit. I received the checklist. Most of the documents I already have because I had to get those documents while I was in the United States. Some of those documents I had to get in the Dominican Republic, such as a papel de buena conducta, which is a police record, and a couple of other things like a bank statement and a couple of other things. Got those documents, opened an account with immigration with Dominican Republic on their website, upload those documents for my particular visa that I'm applying for, and, well, not visa, residency permit that I'm applying for, and I had to submit. When I submitted, it got rejected a few times. I had to get a few things corrected. But in the end, it was accepted. They gave me an appointment date to go to the immigration office to turn in all my documents. I went to my appointment. I turned in all my documents. Then I was given a paper saying, hey, we have your documents. It's a little paper that allows you to travel outside. You have your documents and your residency permit is in process and you'll be notified when it's done. I was notified about 3 to 4 months later. I had an appointment, went there to the immigration office, picked up my residency permit, and was given the paperwork to take to the foreign cedula office in Santo Domingo. And I immediately went there, turned in my paperwork, got my cedula, which was only good for 1 year because my residency permit was only good for 1 year. I was on a temporary residency permit. Now, that's the process for my particular visa process and residency permit process, but that is pretty much the process for everyone, right? You get your residency visa in the United States or whatever your home country is, that consulate which issues the residency visa, you enter the country on that residency visa and you obtain your residency permit. That is the process. So if you have lawyers in the Dominican Republic or people in the Dominican Republic that's telling you that you can receive your residency permit while you're in the Dominican Republic without having to go to a consulate, that is impossible. You can't do it. Why can't you do it? Number one, you have to turn in your documents at the consulate. Number two, you have to turn in your passport at the consulate. So how are you going to turn in your passport at the consulate and you are in the Dominican Republic on your passport? You can't do that. You have to be in your home country. Now, maybe you can get around with that if you probably had a passport from a different country, like you're a dual citizen. Maybe you could, theoretically, but then again, it doesn't make sense. Also, a lot of lawyers are telling folks out there, and I've seen it on YouTube. A lot of lawyers have said, and I've heard other YouTubers repeat what these lawyers have said, which is you can get your residency visa or a residency permit in the Dominican Republic, right? You can get it in the Dominican Republic without having to leave the country. It really isn't possible. And if it is, I haven't seen that possibility come to light. I have not met one person that's been successful with that. Not one. Because the process is to get your residency visa first in your home country or whatever country you're living in, then enter the Dominican Republic on that residency visa to get your residency permit. That is a process. So honestly, I would really hate for you guys to travel to the Dominican Republic on a tourist visa with the hopes of actually getting your residency permit while in the Dominican Republic, because it's not likely to happen. And if you get with a lawyer, I'm not saying that all the lawyers are like that, but if the lawyer is selling you dreams saying, yeah, it's possible, they're probably just going to take your money and nothing's going to happen.
Got him!
I'm just being honest. And I would hate for you guys to set yourself up for failure that way. So if you're really serious, I mean really serious about permanently, or at least temporarily, moving to the Dominican Republic, and you want to go the visa or residency route, you have to start the process in your home country or whichever country you're living in at the time. It's the way to go. That's the way to go. If you have any questions about this topic or anything else concerning immigration, Dominican Republic, or even Mexico, or even Ecuador, let me know. Leave a comment down below, or you can email me at jamar.agayu@gmail.com, which is also attached to my YouTube channel. You can find that, or you can shoot me an Instagram message, Profe Gayu. There you have it. I'm here to help you all. I want you all to be successful. Hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Especially share this to anyone who was considering moving to the Dominican Republic or want to use the Dominican Republic as an option. Send this to them. Good information. Have any questions? Let me know.